guys, welcome back. It's your girl Blaes, and I'm like getting comfortable. As you can see, I'm about to stretch. Ooh.
Down to 100,000, 100,000 on 100,000, 300,000, 500,000, $1 million out of my shower. Fuck up the lumber, I'm hot like a sauna, yeah. The burner is on me, can't play with that money, yeah.
But I'm about to tell you guys another story because it has been a very long time since I've added anything to the BLASÉ Blaes segment of my channel. So this is gonna be installment number 2. But I'm gonna tell you guys about how my date fell asleep on me. Like,
really, nigga?
So I'm sure you guys all know about the app called Tinder. Okay, backstory. So I was dating this guy, and we kind of broke up or whatever. And it was one of those things where it's like, oh, I didn't mean to break up with him, but I was like, okay, whatever. Like, he was like, you wanted this, you wanted this. So I was like, okay, whatever. Like, I guess I did. So whatever. We're not together anymore. Like, we had like started talking again on and off, like since our breakup for like a year. We talked on and off, and then like it was around my birthday, and my best friend was like, oh, I want to throw her a surprise party. She was talking to the guy, was like, can you come out here? And he laughed about it, I guess, which I'm like, I didn't know anything about this. And so then one day I was like talking to her about him, and she was like, F him, well, she wasn't like F him, but she was like, yeah, she was like F him. But like, the fact that she laughed about it, I was like, what? You gonna laugh? Like, I'm a joke? Like, I'm a joke now? Oh, okay, I'm just funny. Okay, cool. So I was like, rebound time. I'm about to like start talking to dudes. So I was like, oh, let me try out Tinder. Like, I went on one date with a guy. This is another story I'm gonna talk about. So then I started talking to another dude on Tinder. So in my Tinder bio, it says 5'2", adventurer, hip-hop enthusiast, right? Those are the 3 things I keep in my Tinder bio. So that way it's like you have something to start conversation with me about. Now, at the time, I didn't understand that Tinder was a hookup app. Like, I didn't get the like, oh, you get on Tinder when you're trying to smash, but I didn't know that. So I was just like, oh, we're gonna like go on dates and I'm gonna get courted and blah blah blah. Like, it's gonna be great. I'll forget about him. Yeah, right. Homeboy hits me up. Now we're gonna call him. He had another Bible name. There is some boys in Bible names. He had another Bible name. So we'll call him.
20 minutes later.
We'll call him Justin. Okay? Now, Justin had his Instagram in his bio, but he didn't have it linked. And so I went up and looked up his Instagram because I was like, you know, I'm gonna make sure he ain't no catfish or whatever before I start giving him my number, you know, because he was looking cute. And I was like, sometimes these dudes be lying on Tinder. So I was going through his little Instagram and I was like, oh, he cute. Oh, he got a lot of shoes. Oh, he got hella shoes. Oh, he got money. No, I'm just kidding. But he did have money. That was beside the point. Give him my number. He's like, hey, let me take you out this night, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he picks me up. When he picks me up, he's like, oh, I'm in the black car outside, blah, blah, blah. So I get in, I sit down. His seats were hella freaking low in the car. And I sit and I like almost felt like, swoop. And I was like, oh. I'm chocolate cool. I'm like, I'm Kudo. I'm Kudo. I'm cool. So he's like, what's up? And I'm like, oh, nothing much, you know, just chilling. Obviously, I hate when people say what's up when I'm like right there with you. I'm like, you know, I'm not doing shit. Like, I'm right here with you. So that's the wrong place, and we're sitting there. There's nobody really there yet because it's only like 10 o'clock. You know, I'm listening to the music. I'm like, he's like asking me like, oh, who's your favorite artist? Blah blah blah, da da da. And I'm like, yeah, you know, Nas and Pac and Lupe, and the list goes on. So we're talking, but this is the thing that got me. It's like on the car ride, he was playing like, at the time Lupe had just dropped an album. He was playing Lupe's new album, not that Lasers BS, none of that, okay? But then he was like, this song right here, he's like, I dedicate this song to you, and I was like, you know me too is before he knew that Lupe was one of my favorite artists too. So I was like, hey, we about to be together forever. We is meant to be. So we're having our conversation. He's like, oh, hold on. His phone rings. It's his homeboy. He's like, oh no, we're here, blah, 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 blah. He's like, no, I don't see you guys. Like, there's nobody here. And they're not. He goes, oh no, we're at the place across the street. So we're like, okay, cool. So we go to the place across the street, right? Now, when we walk in there, it's freaking packed. Like, there's people everywhere. So we go upstairs. He's like, oh, like, let me get you another drink, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay. He's like, what do you want to drink? And I'm like, oh, I don't really know. And so he walks into the bar. He's like, hey, make her something, like, sweet and da-da-da. When he went to go pay for our drinks, this is the thing that I was like, nigga, what? He's like, you want to keep your tab open? He's like, nah, close that. He's like, okay, it'll be $92. $92 for 2 drinks? He put his card down like it was nothing. He was just like, I was like, what? That's nothing. Nigga, that was 2 drinks for $92. In my head, I'm freaking out. On the outside, I'm just like, then he's like, oh, let's find somewhere we can sit down and talk. So then we like are sitting down, we're talking, whatever. And he's like, where's my friend at? And I was like, oh, I don't know. He calls me, he's like, hey, where you at? And he goes, oh, we're at the other place. The first place we had just left. We go back to the other place. Now, the girl who's hosting at the other place is somebody that I knew. I've done her makeup in the past. And I was like, oh, it's alright. I was like, oh, hey, blah, blah, blah. You know, she saw me, we gave each other hugs and stuff. And she's like, he's like, oh, you know her? And I was like, yeah. Now, when I was creeping on his Instagram, I saw that he had a crush on her. So I was like, yeah, I know her. And I know you love her. I didn't want to be creepy, but I saw that he had a crush on her. Like, she was always his Woman Crush Wednesday. So I was like, oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, I know her. He's like, oh, okay. You know, he wasn't like, ooh, she bad. But he was like, okay. We're going through the night, you know. And I look up, and dude I used to freaking talk to, like, let me not even say talk to. You know how you give someone your number, but you really have no intentions of like following up conversation with them, but you give them your number because you think they're cute? That's what the situation was. So I gave him my number, but I knew when we exchanged numbers, I knew that it wasn't something where I was like, oh, I'm really about to like talk to this dude or like whatever. Which I guess he really was trying to like talk to me or whatever, which like every time I saw him, he was always like, hey, why you gonna hit me up, da-da-da. And I'm just like, you don't do shit with your life, that's why. But anyways, it didn't matter. I saw him there and I was like, oh crap, this is awkward, because he's the type of person that when he sees you, he will approach you. He was gigging, he was like, a girl's breaking off, he's like, hey, hey, and he looked up and he saw me, he was like, and I was like, yeah, just gonna turn away now, cause you don't see me. So you don't see that's me, you ain't gotta see that's me, no, you ain't gotta see that's me. Oh, you see that's me, okay. So then he like low-key kind of like, he's like chill off the girl, whatever. He starts to kind of dance with the girl a little bit. And I'm like, I'm not mad at it, because I'm like, I don't want your ass. So he like kind of pushed the girl away or whatever. And I like grabbed my phone to text my best friend. You guys. So for some reason, Justin's name in my phone was saying it's like something similar to my best friend's name. So I text my best friend. Now, this is the thing. The dude that I'm talking, like that I was like, oh, like I wasn't really like, I had no intentions of really talking to or whatever. And he stopped dancing with the girl. We're gonna call him Ace. So, he's somebody that like a lot of people know though. And so I was like, dang it. I thought I texted her and I was like, oh my gosh, dog, why is Ace here? Said, and I sent it to him, and his phone was like, and he looked at it, read it, he's like, what? And I was like, I realized, I looked at it again, I was like, oh shit, I sent that to him. And so he was like, he's like, oh, did you mean to send that to me? I was like, no, I meant to send that to my best friend. I was like, oh, that, and I like tried to play it off. He's like, well, you want to dance? And I'm like, well, you know, I was like, I don't really dance. You know, I kept telling him that. I was like, I don't dance, because he kept trying to dance with me. And I was like, no, I can't dance. He's like, oh, well, it's about to be last call pretty soon. He's like, you want to go? And I'm like, yeah, sure, we can go. And so he's like, He's like, do you have to be home right now? And I was like, no, I don't have to be home. I was like, we can still kick it or whatever. He said, okay. He's like, let's go back to my place then. Now, me mentally, she's like, we could just chill and talk and watch TV and stuff. When you say that to me, I genuinely think you want to chill and talk and watch TV. And when you say and stuff, I think you maybe mean like drink some water or eat some popcorn. Okay? Not and stuff as in like nasty things. Okay? So we go back to his place. He's like, oh, did you have fun and stuff? And I was like, yeah, I did. He's like, this is where I live. He's like, oh yeah, you can have a seat here. He's like, there's my bed. Because he had like a studio. We started watching TV, which was cool. It was chill or whatever. But this is the thing, is like, we were watching Hulu, but the Hulu was hooked up on his iPad, but it was connected to his TV. So he had control over it because, you know, it was his iPad. So he'd be like, we were watching New Girl. That show was freaking good. Like, it is a good show, okay? I was really into it. I was like, this is so good. And so I was like sitting there on the couch, and he's like, oh, you can come closer to me. And so I was like, you know, in my head, I'm like, nah, I don't need to come closer. You could, where you at? I'm cool. Where I is. Okay. We ain't gonna be no closer. And then I kind of lean on him. It's not quite cuddling, but it's like I'm closer to him. I'm like a little more comfortable. And so then he starts like touching my hands and stuff. And I'm like, I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, what? And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, trying to hold your hand. And I was like, for what? And so he was like, okay, never mind. So he kind of got mad at us. He was like, he kind of dropped a hand or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I wasn't fazed by it. And so then he starts trying to kiss me. And I'm like, I done told you. When you tried to touch my hand, I asked you what you was doing. So why is you trying to kiss me, homeboy? Like, you is cute, you is fine. But don't be trying to kiss me, okay? So, he's trying to kiss me. And I'm like, what? What? What you doing? What you doing? Why you doing that? And he's like, come on. And I'm like, no. I was like, I really don't know how to kiss, first of all. Second of all, I don't want to kiss you. He goes, you don't know how to kiss, I'll teach you. And I'm like, no, I'm fine. I like being a adequate kisser, okay? Like, that's what I be looking like, trying to kiss somebody. Like, no, not cute. I ain't never gonna kiss nobody. Fuck my wedding day. He got the message that it was not going down in the DM, okay? Well, I guess it wouldn't be a DM. He got the message that it was not going down, okay? Ain't no nasty stuff happening there at your little place on your beautiful couch, okay? Ain't none of that. This leather, you trying to ruin it? Nasty. No. I go to the bathroom, and he had no freaking toilet paper, and I was so mad. I was like, you're such a guy right now. Like, how do you not have toilet paper, you know? I was like, okay. I like look in his little drawer, and I was like, okay. So then he had toilet paper underneath, so I'm like, but your roll is out. You're gonna leave it here empty when you have toilet paper underneath your sink. Like, the fuck? I like put in the new toilet paper thing for him. When I come back out, he is asleep. He's asleep. He's like sitting there like. So then I like sit down next to him and I like tap him. And when I tap him, this is when the fake snoring starts. He's like,
really, nigga?
really? And like, you drove me here. You drove me from my home to here. How the fuck am I supposed to get home? How? I was like, you lucky I got fucking Uber, nigga. You was lucky. You was lucky I got Uber. You was lucky that you do not live super far from me, because I will kill you. I will kill your ass. It was like 4 o'clock in the morning now. I had to be at work. Like, I had to leave my home for work at 5:30 a.m. So I was like, shit, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm nowhere near home. I have to be ready for work in like an hour and a half. Like, what am I gonna do? I remembered I had Uber on my phone. It was like, duh, Rory, you idiot, you have Uber. So then I like request the Uber, and the Uber driver comes, and so I'm trying to wake him up so that he knows to not leave his door open. I'm like, yo, I'm leaving, and he's like, I'm like, yo, your door is about to be unlocked, I'm leaving. And so then, like, I know he heard me. Got into the Uber and I go home. I was so mad. I was like, are you serious? Like, really? So, yeah, that was it. And I just never heard from him. And I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Like, well, that was that. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the story time. This was the second installment of the BLASÉ Blaes segment. Yeah. Take from me what you want. Hope you learn something new. And stay tuned. Bing! Bye, guys.